Behind every outlaw was a woman who could outshoot him. The history books focus on men, the gunslingers, the lawmen, the ranchers. But the West was never just a man's world. It was a land that demanded grit, and women met that challenge head-on. They weren't delicate flowers. They were pioneers, sharpshooters, entrepreneurs, and survivors. These women didn't just stand behind legends, they became legends. Tonight, we look past the myths to the real women who stared down the American frontier and didn't flinch. These are the women who helped build, define, and tame the West. Some names become myth. Calamity Jane is one of them. Born Martha Jane Canary, she was orphaned young and survived in a world that made no room for a woman alone. She learned to ride, shoot, and cuss, not for show, but for survival. Dressed in buckskins, she defied every convention, a force of nature as wild as a prairie storm. Her bond with Wild Bill Hickok is legendary, their stories forever linked. Calamity Jane lived and died on her own terms, untamed, unforgettable, a true original. While Calamity Jane carved her legend from grit, Annie Oakley aimed higher. Born Phoebe Ann Mosey in rural Ohio, Annie faced poverty early, hunting to support her family from age 7. Her skill with a rifle was unmatched. She paid off her family's mortgage-selling game. At 15, she beat professional marksman Frank Butler in a shooting contest. He lost the bet and won her heart. Together they performed, but Annie was the star. She could split a playing card, hit a dime in midair, and shoot a cigarette from her husband's lips. Buffalo Bill Cody saw her as the embodiment of the independent American woman and brought her into his Wild West show. Chief Sitting Bull named her Little Sure Shot. In the arena, she was grace and precision, charming crowds with humility and dazzling them with impossible feats. Annie shattered the Victorian ideal of the helpless woman. She was strong, skilled, and respectable. She became a role model, teaching over 15,000 women to shoot for self-defense. Her fame was global. She performed for royalty and became one of America's first superstars. Through it all, she remained grounded, never forgetting her roots. Annie Oakley's legacy isn't just in her marksmanship, but in the barriers she broke. She proved a woman could be both powerful and dignified. Her story inspired generations to aim higher. She was more than a performer. She was a pioneer for women's independence. Annie Oakley, the legend who made her mark on history. She showed the world what a woman could do. Her shots still echo today. Little Sure Shot, an American original. Annie Oakley. Some legends are born in the spotlight. Others, like Stagecoach Mary, are forged in the shadows. Born into slavery, Mary Fields found freedom after the Civil War and made her way north, working at a convent in Ohio. She was strong, fiercely loyal, and unafraid to stand her ground. After a conflict, she left the convent but followed her friend Mother Amadeus to Montana, nursing her back to health. In Cascade, Montana, Mary did any job a man could do, often better. Over 6 feet tall, pistol under her apron, she commanded respect. She was the only woman allowed in local saloons by mayoral decree. In her 60s, Mary became a star route mail carrier, the first African-American woman to do so. She won the job by hitching a team of horses faster than any man. Her mail route was brutal, blizzards, floods, and bandits. When snow blocked the roads, she strapped mail bags to her back and trekked for miles. She never missed a day. Once, she stood guard all night against wolves, protecting her cargo. Mary was a fortress, reliable, tough, and unbreakable. She was beloved in her community, especially by children. Despite her rough exterior, she had a generous heart. When her home burned down, the town rebuilt it for her. Stagecoach Mary broke barriers of race and gender with sheer will. She was more than a mail carrier, she was a legend. Her story is one of resilience and courage. Stagecoach Mary, unstoppable, unforgettable. She delivered more than mail. She delivered hope. Her spirit still rides the Montana winds. The West wasn't won by guns alone, but by grit and resilience. Calamity Jane, Annie Oakley, and Stagecoach Mary are not just footnotes. They are the bedrock of the frontier legend. They lived by their own code, faced hardship and prejudice, and carved out a legacy. Their stories prove courage has no gender. Remember the women who stared down the horizon and dared it to tame them. They are the unsung architects of the West. Their echo still rings in the canyons, a timeless story of strength, courage, and the wild heart of a woman.